Guys, and welcome to another live stream here on GG Poker. We are streaming on YouTube and hopefully on Twitch as well, so give me a minute here as I kind of set everything up and make sure that it is working. While we are doing that, couple messages. I'm going to put this in the chat. We do have our new Discord server up. Which has quite a few people in already. You know, good place to just kind of share some hand histories, get some notifications as to what is going on. And then also, you know, getting the latest news from PLO Poker Coaching as well. So I am going to check and see how we're doing on Twitch. I guess I probably have to wait for the delay to end. I do want to make sure that delay is on Twitch as well, otherwise that will be not fun to play against people. On top of that as well, I know a lot of you guys already use PLO Mastermind. If you hadn't heard, they do have a new discount out. Usually they just have the annual Black Friday discount, but with the WSOP going on, they are doing an additional discount. So if you don't have, like if you're paying monthly right now, you can jump in and do 25% off and some bonus goodies as well with that. So I will, you know, if you kind of are interested in that, feel free to go ahead and use my link and then shoot me a message on Discord, and you know, we will figure out what to do with that. But most likely it's going to be either a free session or something that I've been working together as a product that's going to be probably a couple $100, but it is basically like 20-ish something million hands of population analysis across a ton of stats and different lines, and where that should kind of sit within GTO, so where some good spots are for exploits, etc. So probably going to be one of those two things. So yeah, definitely check that out if you are interested in getting a cheaper deal until the end of the year, when obviously Black Friday comes around again. Okay, so the delay should be over, so we should probably be live. I'm hoping. Maybe. Okay. So it's working on YouTube. Just want to make sure that we have delay on Twitch. Twitch looks like it's kind of lagging. So might just cut that one for now and see how we go, because I don't want to waste too much time on this. So then we'll just we'll get into the action and we'll figure it out. There's a couple of reasons why Twitch may not work. What is up, Justin? I'm not in Vegas yet. I actually pushed it. I wasn't getting too excited about some of the stuff out there, but towards the end there are some 6 max tournaments. There's a 1.5k and a 3k, I think. So I'm probably going to be going out in like more like mid-July at this point. Alright, so let's just turn Twitch off for now. And hopefully we're good on YouTube, but yeah, hopefully it didn't mess anything up there. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if there's any video quality issues, any lagging, anything like that. But yeah, let's jump into it. Wasted enough time already. Sorry, as you guys know, I'm not the most technical person when it comes to streaming and all that fun stuff. Then a couple tables of Russian cash, just get a good amount of action in. Folding the queens here with the weak side cards. Hey, Tito. In a while, my friend. Welcome to the chat. I'm glad that you are here. If you haven't already, Tito, make sure you're in the Discord chat. And checking back on the right with just like not really any great blockers. Reasonably good card, I guess. Probably still gonna have to fold to a bet. And this is probably an open suited to the 8. But obviously on the tighter tables, we're fine with it. And on the left, I think it's a decent board to stab, to be honest. And you know, I usually try and stab a little more out of position here without a diamond and no straight blocker. I think it's a pretty straightforward fold. Justin, nice. Yes, use the discount code, and just after you do it, just like shoot me a message on Discord or email or whatever, just so I can match that to you, and yeah, we'll get you sorted. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I know what the issue is. I think it's gonna be to do with streaming to 2 platforms at once in terms of my upload rate, which for reasons I'm not going into is not fantastic. So yeah, I think we'll be sticking with YouTube for now. Haven't had the 2 tables of Russian cash since we last streamed, so the action seems pretty fast. We'll be back into it. I wonder if... Oh no, we're playing 51. He was playing PLO 50, right? That was pretty funny last time with I forget his username. PLO Hurts, right? That was it. These guys are playing reasonable frequencies, so I'm not going to open such a weekend. Pretty much flop the nuts on the left, and I think kind of want to go for the smaller sizing here, and with the wrap on the left, and obviously calling. And we will have some leads on this turn. I think it makes actually for a good check raise. I should have just potted on the right. 10 quads on the right. It's pretty nice. I honestly think that we're against, you know, potentially slow played overpairs. I'm actually gonna go for a smaller sizing here. And on the left, pretty bad hand to check call. Do we ever want to lead small? The thing is, I do need to balance this with like some nut flush draws. Am I doing that? Probably not. So oh no, I think we're just gonna fold. I think with the diamond I call it's a strange one just because maybe the nut flushes that he does have on the flop are gonna have gut shots, and then obviously don't love. It seems really neat to actually just fold this. I'm actually just gonna pot raise because I think people play really tight against this, even though the 3-betting a bit lighter. And kind of an interesting board in a 4-bet pot when we don't have a king. We have a ton of equity against the king. Like, it kind of just looks like, I mean, we're not folding with the backdoor flush draw as well, so maybe we do just want to pot. Great turn card for us, obviously. And I don't think he checks back a king unless he has like kings and clubs, and we obviously block a couple of clubs. So I think this is pretty much a range bet. And we do take it down. Tito, yes. Message me on Discord if you're interested in rig back options on various sites. Yeah, it's usually going to be the case that you need to not have an account on the site already, but not always the case. So yeah, let me know and I'll give you all the options, but usually they're pretty good. You know, like additional like 35%. Ugly on the right. Given we're a bit deeper and in position, I don't think that we should really fold. But with the queen high flush, I mean, this isn't an open, so are we kind of just compounding the issue? Probably. But I mean, yeah, we probably just like unnecessarily lose a stack now, which is kind of funny. I mean, he will have a decent amount of kings. And at this point, like, there's no real reason to raise because he's, I mean, you know, if we jam, he folds every nut flush blocker. And then obviously calls with every nut flush. Given that we have multiple blockers to pairs, I don't think that we want to go for this terrible river. And question is, do we want to bluff? And I think with the second nut flush we probably don't. Because I think he gives up with like nut flush blockers here. So I think checking back is fine. Yeah. Thank you for the good luck, Tito. I appreciate it as always. Get a pretty nice hand in the cash drop on the left. Get the small raise. I mean, we basically have an SPR of 0.5 on the flop. I'm just gonna call here, given that we're in position. Oh, we're not folding now, folks. We're not folding now. What a flop. What a flop. I mean, this is a hand with just so much nutted equity that I kind of just want to bet small and keep as many people in as possible because there's so many draws that we just crush. Obviously, the ultimate brick on the turn. And now we will just be jamming. Obviously not ideal that we don't have a pair, but I mean, it's a monster draw. We can't be that far behind anything, and we put a lot of pressure on like pair flush draws, which, you know, is not ideal. And we don't have to face the ultimate brick on the river either. Not the ultimate brick, but a pretty bricky card. Tempted to call on the left. It's such a bad hand, though. We do have some nut potential. Have you guys been following the WSOP at all? I honestly haven't. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't seen too much of what's been going on. I think, given that we have the nut gut shot and the ace of spades, kind of want to check this back. Could definitely bet and bet call. Pretty good turn. Question is, do we want to raise ever against a pot size bet? So obviously repping 7-9. If we get jammed on, it's not fun. Guess with no spade, no. I mean, with no heart. It's a tough one. It's gonna be an interesting one to review. And then obviously calling the river. Pretty nice river. Question is, do we ever want to... I mean, I'm going to raise the small sizing. Because we can definitely get value from like 8-8-7, 8-8-9. Because we can't really have straights here that often. We could have a hand like 4-7, I guess, but I think it's kind of one of those hands where you're like value bluffing, that you can get better to fold sometimes, but you can also get called by worse when they're bluff catching. LVD, we're all here for the updates. What hath gone on in the last week or so in your Canadian roller coaster account? Give us the deets. Yeah, that was a pretty juicy cash drop flop. We liked it. Not the best run out, but we definitely liked the flop. Ace 7-4, pretty dry, disconnected. Gonna have a decent amount of leads on here, and I think blocking stabbing ranges here, we definitely want to bet with playability on turns and rivers. Question is, if we pot, there's a decent amount of rough turns at rough rivers. We get jammed on. Didn't see the stack sizes. Probably could have just like check called, but obviously we're not folding. And he binky binks the turn. Punish him! Punish him! No punishment today. No punishment today. Yeah, I did give up on Twitch. Not like permanently, but I'm not sure currently at the moment if it's going to be possible to stream on both. I don't know that I'm going to have the upload speed currently. Interesting on the right. I think with a player behind that covers us. I mean, I guess we probably have to call. I don't know. Oh, wow. I mean, how bad can it be? Three-way for 20 bigs. Let's get it all in. Oh, I realize this guy a bit more behind. Let's punt one away, boys. Punt one away. Seems like we're drawing dead. That's not, it's never good. And we turn the straight, so, you know, I don't think, given that we block a bunch of the top twos, that this is a hand that we do want to continue bluffing. And I think we'll see a lot of checks from flushes here as well, so... And we're not checking back that many boats. So even against this small sizing, I think we're gonna fold. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty wild. He just didn't care about the $1 million. It's always nice. Papa G, if I streamed 100, 250 anti 6 max PLO, would people watch? Yeah, why not? Why not? I'll watch most poker stuff. Ace, ace, 10, 7. Seems to me that's a flop C-bet every day. You got the ace of the suit and the 7. But that much equity really seems like obvious C-bet. Well, so the reason, and this is like logic that I should check on different boards, but reason why I don't use the ace of diamonds in that particular spot as like a bluff one is because I block the straight and I have like a decent bluff catcher on a couple of runouts. Two, I have the nut flush blocker whereby if I am against the straight, if I am against the straight, then I can actually utilize that on future streets. If I bet and get raised, I'm going to have to fold. Whereas if I check back, I can start applying pressure on turn and river with it. And, you know, the current showdown value of the aces and the potential showdown value, I'm so tempted to just, he's short. If he was deeper, I 4-bet these a lot. And I guess we have to call on the left. Ship it. So yeah, kind of an interesting one. So I will look that up and see if that was somewhat of a punt, but I usually play those spots kind of like that. And maybe I'm doing it wrong, but and I think now with so many 2 pairs, that we do want to bet. Do we want to bet bigger? And on the left, I mean on the right, sorry. I think we do want to bet small here. We obviously just block flushes that can call a big bet like very hard. We unblock all the sets and 2 pairs that might call. And snap folds. And I'll obviously just be shoving on the right. Ugh. Well, pretty much always behind now. So the question, I mean, we are pretty much always behind, right? Unless he picked up diamond draw. I mean, I think we have to call just for the percentage of the times that he has a draw, but we often run into a set. Okay. One time. Oh boy, one time. I think that's good. I think that's good. Yeah, just like, I don't know. Like, he obviously shouldn't, or really shouldn't have that many, like, pots on that turn. So when you have those kind of spots and then people do pot, like, it's just quite often very nutted. But obviously there's the occasion with hands like that, so that's why you can't fold. Because your equity against the overall range is good enough, not obviously against a set to call, but... Alright, calm down, bro. And we'll be 3-betting on the left. I think, given that we have these gaps and a nut suit, I think we're still gonna call. It's gonna pot this flop a lot. But we are deep, so I'm gonna go for the check raise here. It's a little out of line, but he can have some air that he's gonna bet on this board. Very good turn for my range. Not really for my hand. And do we want to bluff? Without a club, I don't think so. I think there's just too much you can continue with. And I think we are just going to fold. Like, because he can definitely call check raises on the flop with, like, queen, queen. This is one of the boards that, like, people may slow play on, so... So we get caught in a little bluff. And it seems quite wide for Russian cash. I'm actually going to call on the button. Given that these people are playing such minimal hands. This guy 3-betting a lot? Not really. Snap pot bet. A couple backdoor straight draws. Just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it go. And definitely is something I was thinking about as well, like some of these hands from the live stream as well, you know, if you you know, kind of want to post them, you know, in the Discord chat, you know, we can discuss them as well afterwards. With the low gut shot, I don't think I'm gonna res here. I'm just gonna flat. Pretty good turn. Question is, do we want to have leads? Our hand just really hates to get res with just like marginal everything, so I think I'm actually just gonna go for the check call here. When we face half pot, I mean, so wrapping hands like, I don't even know, ace 10. Oh, I mean, we're not folding. And now on the river. Let's see what bet size he uses here. He'll always have some backdoor straights, but yeah. And didn't see how small the sizing was there. Maybe we could have peeled to take it around the turn if check to, as well as with some equity against the queen. It's a very good price. I don't love it not having a heart, but it does mean when we get called we have a very good double barreling hand. Yeah, I was pretty tempted on the left, given that there's a couple of straight runouts and clubs that we can bluff. We'll keep it a little more in line. Some pretty serious double suited trash on the left. Probably isn't an open. Would call if we were deep. I think we just fold this hand. And checking back, the left and no straight blocker. Maybe a turn that I'll bet if I'm checked too. Obviously we have the best overpairs here. But he doesn't have a straight. I don't think that we need to bet very large on the river. I mean, we're really trying to fold out Miss Spades. Snap call with the kings. And no blocker. Interesting. I guess he had no spades though. And it's a small bet, but he's 6-3 deuce. It's a little high for our leading range, given that the kind of straight boards that you want to lead on are more like 9 high, 8 high, where you're going to have a pretty large c-bet frequency. This guy seems pretty loose. Don't know that this is going to be a 3-bet. I think blocking some of the bad hands he can have. I mean, obviously that's a great turn. And I expect him to raise most hands that are better than aces. And we do have some rivers that we can continue bluffing on. And when we get called again, blocking jacks, that is a little bit scary. I don't know how effective this bet is going to be. Yeah. I think just not really going to have any leads here on a straight board, and we'll be able to utilize the ace of spades. Yeah, I don't really love this, like, thinking about it. I mean, obviously we're folding. Like, in terms of the triple barrel and blocking the ace of spades on the right through, I think we just end up folding. Yeah, I don't know that people call wide enough on the turn there to make that a profitable play. Like, my hand just very much looks like what it is, so pretty easy to play against. And this guy hasn't been too loose with a 3-bet. Just kind of probably tilting a little bit after dusting that off when considering whether or not to to bluff raise him there. Are we gonna check fold this hand though, really? I mean, I guess we do check folds. On the left, probably not going to have that many leads on mono boards. I think this is a hand that we probably do have to continue with. Given that we're going to get bet into a decent amount. And blocking the 7 and a spade, I think we are going to bet here. He will definitely have some flushes that he checks back, but I block a lot of the ones that he's going to check back with the jack of spades, so it's almost like I'm blocking 2 flushes. And the queen of spades is interesting because that blocks another portion of his flush range. I think it's dynamic enough on the right that we just pot. And on the left, I think we do want to go for a bet here. As I said, his check back's mainly going to be like queen, jack high flushes. He does just call. And what? What? Guys, am I losing my mind today? What? What? How does he call a turn? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm very confused. That literally makes me question if my delay is working. What? Alright, when you guys catch up in the chat, can someone please comment and tell me if I'm like somehow just like tired and misreading what just happened? Or if that just seemed incredibly strange. Oh yeah, we call that the big blind here. Not, yes, like decent blockers. Even if I have a heart here, I'm probably not going to bet, to be honest, because like we really want to block the raising range when we have like node blockers, and not blocking an ace and like not even blocking a 7, like the 5 is just like kind of irrelevant. Like he's not going to have that much ace 5 in his range. And then unblocking some of the draws here, just going to bet small. People will often play aggressive on these kind of like paired boards if they have some sort of gut shot. I am shooketh. This definitely looks strong when we raise here with a player behind. We do have some night outs. Kind of want to play this deep in position, but it is pretty trashy. Without a club and some equity against sets, I think we probably just want to check this back. Against a small size, we're obviously never folding. I mean, we're likely drawing to like 4 outs. That's one of them. Yeah, UTG, I really don't know. Like, I'm pretty shook right now. Flop went check, check, I believe. Flop went check, check. And then I bet like half pot on the turn. And he called on the turn. On the left, I think probably supposed to defend these types of hands. This guy doesn't seem too aggro. Question is, do we want to turn our hand into a bluff now? I think he gives up with his bluffs and we win a lot. So, given that we have short on value, I think I'm actually going to check raise this hand. Doesn't see. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I guess that was literally his thinking, DNV. I mean, me no have it, so I call. I don't know. Felt a little fishy to me. I mean, not fishy, like sketchy. All right. I mean, this is kind of the dream hand to 4-bet bluff with, but how many people are squeezing here without aces? We get the call, so we're all in because we catch a piece. I mean, why am I getting squeezed with this hand? I getting squeezed with this hand? That sounds solid, LPD. Good for you. I'm glad that you're not tilting in the chat today. Dude, you're telling me that's why I like didn't talk for like 3 minutes. I was trying to figure out like what is going on. I was literally checked my like delay and was like, what the hell is this? It is what it is. It is what it is. So we don't block the kind of stronger overpass here, which I don't know that he's gonna fold. He's playing a little wider though. Snap fold is always nice. Ooh, don't really have enough here. If we had like a 7 of hearts. Pretty nice flop on the left. Do block some of the straight draws and have a backdoor flush draw, so I think we can bet smaller here on this like very dry board. I mean, probably half pot range is probably better. And we get raised. Like, I guess we can be against a wrap. And we're not doing fantastic against like ace X. We just want to call and guess on the turn. Okay, well, we're not folding now. All right, ship it, ship it, ship it, ship it. Yeah, I mean, his hand, I mean, I don't know what he's really doing on the flop there. If he's turning his ace 4 into a bluff, which I really don't like. Just because he always puts another couple of bets in against the nuts, and then it's nothing out of me. No backup on the left. I think we're just going to be check calling. And I think, I mean, this guy's pretty wide though. Well, it's only 2 hands. Just gonna check back a lot of flushes though. Kind of want to block bet the turn. I guess we can call it off. I mean, we're often against aces or nut straights then, and that's not a promising proposition. Do river the nuts. I think people often still bet aces on the turn, and so I think we want to get him to bluff here without diamonds, and probably want to 4-bet this. He did have 8s. I don't know, this guy's really tight. He has a 3% 3-bet range. Okay, maybe we don't want to 4-bet this hand. It's a pretty good flop. We'll have a bunch of leads on here, and I think this is a pretty good candidate. Like, we can't really get it in bad if he jams. And if he has like aces with, you know, backdoor clubs, I guess we're just getting it in. And we are flipping. Goes for the one time, drawing dead on the turn. Let's give him the thank you for the one time. Yeah, he definitely didn't respect my under the gun range there, LPD. I think a decent hand to c-bet here, given that we block a 9 with our side cards and diamonds, but it's a pretty worthless draw. We actually turn a ton of equity, so I think we do want to check now and check call, I guess. We are super deep here. There's some pretty shitty aces. Let's just call. Pretty good flop for my hand. I mean, for my range. And with the ace of diamonds, it's pretty good. Question is, do we want to raise the flop? Still a lot left behind after I raise small, so this really puts him in a tough spot, and he just snap folds. So we river the straight with a blocker and block diamonds. Still think it's a little thin to lead. What? Who are these nits? There was a mega tilt in the chat last stream. Yep, we remember. Oh, 100 buy-ins, Justin. Nice. What are you playing currently? Yeah, UTG, so 100 buy-ins sure is on the low end for continuously playing at a stake, but remember that continuously playing at a stake is a lot different to shot taking, so you don't even need 100 buy-ins to shot take, you know, at that stake. You know, you can take a shot. You just have to be disciplined about what happens if you lose like 5 buy-ins or something like that. And yes, I think most poker was definitely easier during COVID. And I'm gonna just be betting big on this turn. I would usually check raise more when I don't have you know, a heart, but we do have the straight blockers for a bit more playability. And against the small res, I think we're gonna call, and then it's kind of gross. Kind of gross. Kind of gross. Not the best flop. We will actually have a good amount of leads in this spot. Yeah, I like it. I think we should all just move to Canada and play in the ring fence games. I think I often have the best hand here. And it's a pretty easy bet fold. Like, I get value against draws, and then, you know, can easily fold given that I'm drawing basically dead to a 9. So yeah, so easy fold. And I don't think he's jamming too many draws there. Yeah, believe me, if I had the chance slash, well, I mean, I could easily go live in Canada for a bit, but I like some sunny weather and beaches in the US more so, and obviously my family is in England, so split my time between those. I think probably good. Probably just check call here. I think if it was like 7-10, maybe I might lead on this turn. And after we get called here, and then he just leads into us on 7-4 deuce. I mean, we can't call, but do we just want to jam? Zebra is calling with that hits this board. And I mean, I still think that we have to fold. Like, at best we have what, 6 outs, 12%. Oh, shouldn't have opened it. Shouldn't have opened it. Just think that this guy's going to be playing very straightforward. Obviously not a good turn when a ton of straights complete against the big blind range and some potential future showdown equity if we river 2 pair or trips. What did we get called by that's worse? Not that. And I mean, I don't really think we get Queen X to fold. And we're just gonna river the nuts anyway. Let's go for the small bet in juice. No luck. Yeah, I don't know how he checked that back. 9-7. Very tight, very tight. Bunch of lunatics and nits today. Tempted to 3-bet this, honestly. I mean, and I would with better kings, and I only called because we're like 500 big blinds deep in position. But people just tend to like under 4-bet unless they have ace. So then like kings become like a decent 3-bet because it's an easy fold where you're like not really like burning much equity. But then you're obviously ahead of ranges that are calling. It's probably just a fold, I guess, as I call. And so the way people play, they will, I mean, I do block those kind of ranges in terms of overpairs and diamonds, but those are hands that they'll definitely jam, which I'm like not doing well against, but would be giving up a lot of equity if I folded. It's a pretty good turn. So he snap bets. I think we just don't even push that much equity if he does have like certain hands that he's bluffing with. I mean, it's the worst river. And I just think we probably, with a 10 blocker and a diamond blocker, we probably just have a bit too much showdown value to turn this into a bluff. Ship it. Yeah, I've been to Canada a couple times, mostly skiing, and it's really nice. I just prefer to be by oceans if I can. Like a bit of surfing. So, you know, in Vegas, obviously you've got you know, California coastline pretty close, and then in England, although it's pretty freaking cold to surf there sometimes, there are actually pretty good waves by where I live, so. Guess we do unblock a jack. I don't mind just checking this back to have some straights in my check back range. I don't really need protection from much. We get the large size then. With the nut drawer, I think we're probably gonna call here. And do we want to bluff? I think probably, given that most people are going to bet the nut flush draw on the turn. Yeah, I guess he's not going to fold the jack high flush. 10 high flush. Maybe we need to pot there. Maybe we need to pot. Well, UTG, appreciate you stopping by, and go be a good husband and make some dinner. Pretty ugly on the left, but we're gonna be calling. Thing is, we can't really check call. Do we want to just bet? Snap jam. Probably thinking about it, we don't really have any leads there out of our range. That cold calls in the small blind. And some 4-5, like king, king, queen, queen, 4-5. Those types of hands, but I don't mind it. We have pretty good blockers, and it's not like we're burning much equity there. Gonna need a pretty strong reason to check back top 2 in position. We have okay playability with straight blockers on turns, and so can't bluff catch with this hand. Not ideal when we get raised, but not going to be folding, obviously. And yeah, I think we're just going to be calling on the left. And then checking back on the right, probably bluffing some rivers. And on the left, do we want to bet small here? I don't think so, since we do have some equity against the jack. And do we want to raise here against a small sizing? Or do we want to just call? Guess we should have raised. Just check raising the bear top 2. We are running into some questionable players today. Had the raise clicked, did not follow through. This is a pretty good scenario where we have no leading range in a GTO perspective, but against someone this wide, you know, we have a much bigger equity and polarity advantage on that board as opposed to you know, EP versus button or whatever it was. So often lead there, especially if players are a little bit more on the passive side. And against these types of ranges from short stack players, if they're playing appropriate ranges, they'll find it tough to defend on those boards, especially with our blockers. And we 3-bet here, and I think gonna bet range. He snap calls. Question is, like, can we ever fold an ace? He's never folding an 8. But if he has, like, if he has a pair with diamonds, then we might get a call. And if it goes check check and it's like a brick river, are we just gonna fold? Like, probably not. Sorry, I didn't really have time to explain why I wanted to raise this hand. Obviously we block the nuts. Some of his straights we'll just have to call here, and you know, we have a good amount of fold equity with our blockers. And then turning, you know, he can still have some nut flushes. Nut flush draws, sorry. Doesn't necessarily have to have the nuts, but he will have a good portion of nuts in his range. Just checks back, so not really a great river because you don't really beat anything now. And I think it's too thin to go for value, especially blocking the 4-card straight. And then just folding on the right. I think with a 5 I'd be more tempted to bluff, but I mean we have some pretty clean turn cards. Oh, and we're 3-way, I didn't see that either. So yeah, definitely not bang. I think I might. I don't think we can check raise this hand. So I'm actually gonna lead. Just because we don't get as much value from check raising, even though we're gonna have a lot of rivers that we're gonna have to check. I love it. I love when Tio is in the chat. Our cheerleader is back. He pumps up the crowd, gets the likes. That's what we want to see. Always appreciate it, man. Interesting one on the left. It can be another situation where we have like the blocker and very good equity, like in terms of raising. So we can get some very tricky rivers that we cannot bluff now, or that we get bluffed into. Snap bet. I mean, we kind of have a pretty good bluff catcher apart from the diamonds. Fair enough. Fair enough. Obviously not folding this one on the left. Deep with some pretty connected cards, and that is it's a pretty juicy flop. Crush. I think we just want to call this in position because there's a lot of hands we get it in against that we're not really pushing much equity against, and he's gonna have a ton of tough turns to play. Like that one. And thing is, if we pot, he's still gonna call with an overpair and flush draw. I think we probably want to bluff river if hearts miss, actually. And gonna call. It's just a tough river for him to call in general. We're probably just gonna bet call. And probably should just be folding on the right. Given that we have no straight blockers, like we don't have any bluff catching ability on rivers, and we're really just praying to hit our opponent to like give up, which is not a great strategy. Against this, against the big blind, sorry, against the short stack here, I think we do just want to get this in. And with like no real blockers to the walkout straight, I think we're just going to check back. Man, against this guy, I mean, this guy is actually gonna have a pretty strong range, but all right, well, the money goes in. I think on this board, given the cards that we hold, we make it tough to connect, and we're really gonna just run into sets, and we're not even doing that badly against sets, so it'd be nice if we had a backdoor flush draw, but yikes. Yeah. We're going for a very small sizing on the left. I'll be calling this pretty deep. Not the flop we were looking for. And we'll just be check folding. Just making sure my puppy is alive. He was at puppy daycare today, so was running around with all of his doggo friends, and came back and just slept instantly. Given that we have ace king king here, like if I had aces, I'd be more likely to bet this board. It's just not really much that's worse that can continue. Don't really need protection. We can bet on the turn when a few draws pick up, but we do block the jack, so makes it more likely that we run into an 8. So this is not fantastic, but we're not folding the turn at least. And if he bets again, I'm actually just gonna fold. I think a lot of his bluffs include 10 jack. And we do want to raise, and maybe I'll check raise on the left. We do want to raise some ASX hands for blockers that have poor playability, but you know, when we have backdoor straight draws, backdoor diamonds, what is he? It's just very likely that he has a flush here, to be honest with you. We could run into quads. But I don't see many people checking back an ace. So it's kind of like quads are flush. And I think he'll probably fold a flush. Because when I lead turn and then check raise river, it's a pretty strong line. Damn, he has quads. Kind of want to call to show you that he has quads. Let's message him and say, show the quads. There he has him. Fun times, fun times. Tip for you guys. Try not to get people to fold quads. It's not going to work out that well. Obviously, you know, it's a pretty profitable line to take, given that there's one hand that can really continue against us when you think about his line. So, just gonna bet small on the turn here with the nizzles. Cop one, are you talking about my wild VPIP or everybody else's? There are a couple of high VPIPers in the pool today, which is somewhat rare. I'm usually Mine's mixed. It can be very tight, it can be very loose, depending on the spots that I kind of get put into and how many recreationals there are. That were hot and 3 overs. I think I want to check this back. And then I'm going to call a turn with a lot of rivers that we can bluff. And some nutted equity, but no real reason to bet. And just folding on the left. Often lose to like Queen X. Which would be sad. Just snap calls with Queen X anyway. I should probably start tagging some of these players. And I am going to call this hand because we have our friend here in the pot that limped. And just so I can flop the nuts on him. I'm going to check and then just go pot pot. Or is that the key that I bet 75%? Try and take it down. I must be stealing. Oh, come on. Can't call me with 8x. On the right, without a club and some showdown, future showdown equity, I'm just gonna check here. If I were grinding Russian cash, I'd play Taya. If I was playing like 4 tables, probably, just because like the edge that you kind of have there is diminished when you get into these spots and can like kind of outplay people with wider ranges. But in terms of like a strategy, if you could maintain the same level that you could at like 2 tables or 1 table across 4, I would definitely open wider. Do we want to raise? That's quite big. I think we're just gonna call. It's not gonna call with Rose. Maybe he has a set and he calls. Ooh, 6-5. Love it. That was a cooler, apparently. I mean, what the? So we need to call 70. Oh my god. For the extra 10 BB. I guess we should fold. Guess we should fold. Drawn pretty thin. Oh yeah, the guy wanted the was there a straight flush out there? Would have been nice. I'm looking for my second bad B jackpot on stream. Could do with another 6K or whatever it was. It's not fun. With two back top flush draws, I guess we have to call. I guess. Yeah, maybe that's a punt. It was actually a larger bet than what I thought on the flop. But actually, I guess we have pretty decent equity because, or we should against his range. He just happens to have the same straight draw, so we should probably have closer to like 30% maybe. He only blocks one of our flush draws. Yeah, so I think it's probably fine against his range. It is a large bet, and I guess that often our straight draws are kind of covered there, which is pretty unideal. We just got wrecked in the last 20 minutes. Should we min raise to try and induce a layer ISO? Let's test it out. Nope, we're just gonna get action from a bunch of other people. Surely this guy's to shove though. Nope, just calls. Just calls. Yeah, that's as I said, never a great idea to try and bluff people with quads. But I stand by the line because we basically said that he can have one hand that he can call us with most of the time. I just can't really call many rivers here. Unless we bluff hearts. It's a big bet though. So I think I'm blocking hearts here. And blocking the turn 9. I think I'm actually gonna go for the check rip. We don't get it and we get the bad news. Having a 10 would be nice. I guess we just bet fold, maybe? Probably want to use a smaller sizing. I feel like we just induce a lot with the smaller sizing. Yeah. So, oh, come on with the time bank. I think we're just gonna fold. I mean, he really is obviously wrapping Queen Jack, Queen 10. Let's see if we can see a flop for a big blind. Check! Check! I think we're going to check this turn and then evaluate some rivers. In position, we have some nice turns here. We won't get res, but this guy is, oh, they're both really short, so I don't think bluffing is like too much of a great idea. And we river pretty much the nuts. I mean, there's just not much behind. I think we can just get away from it. Get the cold fall from behind. Hopefully we get some callers to make this call profitable. We could lead this hand given that we don't have the nut blockers, but I am actually just going to check call with the backdoor nut flush draw. I mean, Figures, figures, figures. Snap check back. And we win. I do suck, apparently. We lost a couple of flips today. Well, a little bit behind in this one, I guess. So I think we're down a little actually on the day after being up pretty decently. Blocking kind of the main draw that can continue outside of a queen here. Don't really see any value in betting. And they're gonna bet call the turn. Hands that he limps with. That then call the turn. I mean, if he had the king high flush draw, he's probably gonna call the river. Because then I'm repping like king queen. So kind of a bit of a value bluff. I mean, obviously folding to a jam, but if he has kings with diamonds, it's a bit more gross, but he did limp, so. Man, what the fuck? Oh man. I guess he has like queen 3. I mean, sick bluff. He did bluff, but and I think I just want to check back on the left. You obviously have a good amount of queen jack, even though we block it. Pretty bad river. Does have queen jack. On the right, couple of gut shots, second up flush draw. No dice. I mean, I think just blocking all the draws. I mean, we obviously can't win, but don't think this is a hand that we want to necessarily turn into a bluff, although it may have worked there. Alright, I think we are going to be wrapping up Charlie. I am starving and pretty tired. So we tested out Twitch, it failed. That might not be an option for the foreseeable future, but other than that, pretty interesting stream. Appreciate the chat as always. Some good crack in there today. And as I said, a couple of things. Make sure you join the Discord server. The link is in the chat and below the stream. And also, if you are currently paying monthly for PLO Mastermind, check out their current sale right now. If you get the 6 months, you save like 25% and get some additional products that they have in there. So you can save a good amount, which will get you through to Black Friday. And then you can get the Black Friday deal as well if you want to renew it. But yeah, definitely make sure you go through my link, and I'll be sharing basically a 20 million hand sample analysis product with a ton of different stats across regs, fish, and crushes, and even a split between sites and different types of fish. So pretty useful product that I'm going to be rolling out soon. So that's going to be worth a good amount, but that's something that you will be getting included if you sign up with my link. Just sign up with the link and then shoot me a message to let me know that you did that. I'm going to be batting here on the right with kind of just poor equity in general. Not a hand that I really want to check call with, but good blockers for immediate fold equity on the flop. And this may be one of the last hands. So hopefully just flop the quaddies. Nope, no action. And that is it. We are done, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for keeping the chat lively. Always appreciated. And good luck.